Thank you. I first want to commend the chair. This is the first in my experience of a hearing that actually started early rather than late. That bodes well.
See if it ends early, that could be a big first.
So that's another challenge. When I used to appear before the Maine legislature, the first question always asked was, why are you here? And I think the answer in this case is pretty clear. As Senator Risch mentioned, he and I served together on the Intelligence Committee. I'm also on the Armed Services Committee, and I would say in virtually every hearing that we've had over the past 4 years that I've been to, somehow the cyber vulnerability comes into the conversation. I said, and in fact, we had a classified Armed Services Committee hearing just this morning on this very issue, and I characterize this as the longest windup for a punch in the history of the world. We know that it's coming. And we know that there are people who are actively working to do us harm right now. And we've had warning shots, OPM, Sony, and others. And as Senator Manchin mentioned, we are asymmetrically wired, so we're asymmetrically vulnerable. This is a very straightforward bill, and it does grow out to some extent of the experience in the Ukraine, where when they found that they had analog and human intervention at certain key points. We're not talking about rewriting all the software or dumbing down the grid. We're talking about inserting some elements of analog and human intervention at certain critical points in order to protect us. And interestingly enough, just this year, just in the last few weeks, there has been an analogous policy recognition in the United States Navy. For the first time in 20 years, Annapolis is now going back to the teaching of celestial navigation. And the reason is that you can't hack a sextant. And this is a recognition that with all of our sophistication comes additional vulnerability. And that what we're attempting to do today is to talk about and work on a pilot basis and on a voluntary basis for the utilities, some unconventional solutions to this vulnerability challenge. I do not want to go home to Maine after a disastrous attack somewhere in the United States on our critical infrastructure and explain that we didn't try some various options. So that's the reason I brought forth the bill, and it grew out of conversations with Senator Risch and the work that we've done in the Intelligence Committee, and I'm delighted that we're here today. I appreciate your opportunity to present this bill. Thank you.